One question each. Dave Biddle, 24/7 Sports.
Ryan, how is Wink Martindale's scheme different than what they've done the last 3 years, if at all?
Very similar. A little bit more pressure, but he's got his own flavor to it. But similar to what they've done in the past. Same philosophy in terms of the structure of the coverages, but a little bit more aggressive in terms of pressure.
Far left, Joe Nugent, WCMH.
Do you find yourself managing emotions at this point of the week with knowing what is coming on Saturday?
I think this part of the week, you're putting the plan together, and you really try to make sure you're focusing on the process right now, because you only can really control what you can control. And every time you can start getting focused on things that don't matter, you got to get right back into your work. And that was the message to the guys on Sunday. And so that's it. We're going to really focus on the process, the same process that we've been working on all year. Everything that we do in the offseason, every decision that's made in terms of the coaching staff, the roster, how we practice, schematics is all working towards this moment right here. So let's just go to work, trust the process, and focus on what we're going to get done today.
Fourth row left, Tony Girdman, Buckeye Huddle.
Ryan, you got bringing guys in from the portal who have all played in rivalry games. They've experienced it. What do you tell them when in the recruiting process and then in January and February and April and things about this rivalry?
Yeah, well, in the recruiting process, you make sure that that's when they commit, that's the number one goal. Understand that for everybody in the program, that is the number one goal when you come here is to win this game. And that needs to be embraced. And then you go on from there. And we live it every day of the year, in our workout, the way that we structure everything. And then, just the fact that, like, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. So lean on the guys around you that have been in the game before, players, coaches, everybody else in the building.
Dan Hope, 11 Warriors.
Will Howard leading the FBS in completion percentage right now. Did you expect that he was going to play as well as he has, or has he exceeded your expectations?
I mean, our expectation is to win. That's it. I think when you start worrying about other things like completions or stats, you can start to go down a bad road. I've said this before. We've had Heisman Trophy finalists. We've had, number one defense in the country, whatever it might be. And, we're more focused on winning than anything else. You can see, if we had made a decision to play more snaps and go up tempo and do different things, and maybe his numbers would be different than they are right now. Maybe, Quinshawn and Travion would be different in terms of their stats, and same thing with the receivers. But decisions are made to, reach our goals, and, we expect to win. And that's it. We're going to need him to play well. He's got to be a great decision maker. He's got to go get his first pair of gold pants.
Spencer Holbrook, Letterman Row.
Ryan, what did you like from Carson and Austin on Saturday? What do you see that makes you think that they're ready for this challenge coming up?
You just go off what you see in practice, on the film. Two guys that, now are, getting more and more reps under their belt. Now, obviously, Carson has from last year, but now Austin as well. I think they both had a good week of practice last week, and I thought they had great energy out there. I thought they gave great effort. When they did miss, they swung and missed pretty hard, and it'll be that way this week. We've got a big challenge with the two inside guys in the front that they have, but they'll be up for it. We'll have a good plan.
Joey Kaufman, Columbus Dispatch.
Ron, you've talked before about how situations and analytics have guided some of the fourth down decisions as you guys go for it more often this year. Looking back on last year's game against Michigan and some of the decisions in that game, the 4th and 1 where you punted kind of near midfield, that had any sort of effect in the way you kind of changed your approach? Because you look back on that year now, it's like now I might think you guys might be liable to go for it in those spots.
Yeah, I think you take every situation as it comes and you try to make the best decision you can. Certainly the analytics will tell you what to do, but you also have to, figure out what can best win the game. And so we'll do the same thing in this game right here. We always want to be aggressive, but we also have to do what's smart. You have to take the emotion out of those decisions and do what's best for the team.
Don Taberry, WBNS.
Coach, how much will you pay attention to the weather this week? They're saying 19 degrees early on and then in the low 30s, and how will that affect the game?
I just think that, when you get to this time of year, you're going to deal with weather. We've said that all along, and, it'll be the same for both teams. But, this time of year, you're expecting, cold weather. You're expecting wind, rain, snow, all the above. And and you got to have a plan. So, we'll be ready to go. It'll be the same for both teams.
Cameron T. Robinson, The Athletic.
Ryan, when you have a senior class that came back for this game, and they're all as experienced as they are, do you have to talk to them about managing their expectations, their emotions, so they're not too high for this, or is that something that you trust that they know how to handle that?
I think, again, when you focus on the process and you focus around your team, and you're with your guys in the Woody, it certainly can avoid distractions this week, and I think that's what we need to do. To say that, this team and those leaders and these seniors want to win this game, it'd be one of the biggest understatements of all time. So they don't need any extra motivation. What they have to do is do a great job of preparing themselves, their mind, their body, and soul to go play the game, and then trust their training. And that's really what it comes down to. All the work that's been done to get to this point, now you have to go back to, trusting your training, because that's really how it works. You hear about the Navy SEALs saying you fall to the level of your training. All the work that's been done, you've seen us talk about our bricks and our foundation and all those things. It's all leading to this point right here. And so you can't just all of a sudden turn it on in a few days for one game. It doesn't work that way. The way we play is going to be because of how we've built our foundation up to this point. And everything in the entire program has been built to win this game. And so now we just have to trust that and go play with confidence, with great energy, with great passion, and playing for your brothers, and everybody just doing their job. Like, I think sometimes it's easy in a game like this to try to do something, extraordinary. The only thing that needs to be extraordinary is their effort. Everything else, they just need to do their job.
Bill Landis, Kings of the North.
Ryan, your guys' third down efficiency is down a little bit from what it's been historically here, but I think your fourth down efficiency is maybe the best it's been since you've been here. I guess, how do those two things marry up, and are you, I don't know, are you concerned at all about the third down efficiency, or is it okay given how good you guys have been on fourth down?
No, we want to be great on third down. I think third and fourth down are very similar. So at the end of the day, at the end of the game, we'll kind of put those together and go, combine those numbers and statistics. But yeah, we want to convert on third down, and conversion on third down is going to be critical in this game. We know the situations play a big part of this game, always has. So we need to be efficient on third down, and a big part of that is what you're doing on first down. If you get yourself into third medium, third manageable, short yardage, certainly the percentages go much higher than when you're in third and long, and we were in a few of those the other day.
Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Whether it's what Chris did in 2018 or Garrett in 2019, what do you see in a freshman that lets you know that they're ready for a moment like that?
You don't know until they're in it, but again, you just go back to your training and what you see in practice every day. And that's two examples of guys who stepped up in this moment, and that's what's on the table in a game like this. So again, guys who are playing this for the first time, you don't know till you've been in it, but ultimately you just need to do your job at a high level and play with great emotion and passion. And every play is just amplified, every inch is amplified, every yard is amplified. That's just the way it goes. But ultimately, it's still football, and you just got to go play the same way you've played, and trust your training. That's what it comes down to. So, again, that goes back to diving into a great week of preparation, getting on the film, making sure you're prepared.
Pat Murphy, 24/7 Sports.
Brian, you've mentioned a few times in the past about the winner of this game generally being, or has been, the team that's run the ball better. How do you, with that in your mind, how do you go into the game approaching things offensively, wanting to run your offense, but also knowing that has been such a key in this rivalry?
Well, that's how you control the game on both sides of the ball. So that's something that has to be done. And you just look historically that's how you win the game. But that's not the only thing. There's a lot that comes with it. And so, like every game we go into, we'll work hard to do what we think best helps us win the game. But yeah, the team who runs the ball and the team who stops the run is going to win the game.
Dave Holmes, WSYX.
Yeah, Ryan, I think there's a fascination in how coaches handle this week behind closed doors. Some people think you want to be loose and confident, portray that. Other people think you might want to ratchet up the intensity. What kind of image do you try to portray to your team during this week?
Well, I think when you live it year-round, you don't need to put any extra emphasis on it this week. Our guys know, especially with a veteran team. So what you do is everything that you've done leading up to this point has to be about winning this game. And so, we put a big emphasis on the situations, winning the situation. You heard me talk about the turnovers and the X-plays and the rushing yards, third down, red zone. We go through that after every single game when we do our champions. Grading out a champion, grading over 80%, being the hardest playing team in the country, like all of those things come into play. So we've been training all year for this moment, and now we just need to go do it again. And that's the idea, so that you're not all of a sudden putting more emphasis or more pressure on the guys. I mean, they know it's at stake. And so, again, focus on the process, focus on what we've done up to this point, the foundation that's been built, and then go play with our hair on fire.